What's going on, guys? Welcome back, or welcome to my channel, Reading Between the Lines. I am your host, Brandon, and this channel, I talk about books, and it's that simple. Today, I don't want to waste too much of your time. I value time. Time is of the essence. Time is our most valuable asset. I think that's some of the cliche sayings, but today we're going to review a book that I like so much that I've applied to my life. As of recently, I've really thought actively about applying these principles to my life, okay? And this book that I'm reviewing is called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a practical guide to personal freedom, a Toltec wisdom book, okay? First thing, again, I have no idea how to do a book review, at least on booktube. All I know how to do is talk about what is on my brain. So first thing, what's the cover about? I don't know. There's 4 different pictures of like different plants. I think this is, I don't know, some like spiritual plants. Maybe I'll do some research on that. There's some branches. It's a real cool book. I mean, it's a real cool cover. When I first saw it, I was like, wait a second, am I gonna get high watching it? I didn't. There's no, well, I mean, my brain got higher, but like from gathering information. God, I gotta stop with these jokes. It's a real nice, real short read, like I said. It's 140 pages. I read this book in one day, I think, and I was at work because I was so intrigued as I started reading it. So on the front page, or I guess the cover, inside of the cover, it gives the 4 agreements and kind of a synopsis of what's going on. I'll read those to you in a second. I don't know if this is on Audible. If you don't feel like reading, this will take a very short time to listen. And obviously on the back cover, what the guy's about, some reviews from some other people. Same thing on the inside cover. So anyways, first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself, very important, or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Second agreement, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. Hard to grasp, but 100% true. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. He mentions the term dream in this book, and to get into that, you have to read the book, but I'll explain in a second. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Rule number 3, or agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just this agreement, and I agree with this, with just this agreement, you can completely transform your life. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, no matter what, I'm telling you, always do your best. In doing so, you will avoid, here it says, self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. So initially, I wanted to do 4 different videos to do a super deep dive into these, which I still might do after this video, but a couple of things I really like about the book, about the way it's written. So initially, like I said, when he uses the term, where is it at? It's a reflection of their own dream. When you're talking about don't take anything personally, nothing others do is because of you, what others do is protection of their own dream and reality. So when you use the term dream, someone's dream in real life is all the stuff they're going through, right? If they're married, if they're not married, if they have 17 dogs, if they have 1 dog, if they don't eat a lot, if they eat too much, whatever is going on in a person's life, that is their dream, okay? Their thoughts, actions, possessions, all that stuff, that's their dream, that's your dream, that's my dream. Whatever that is for us, that's our dream. So these terms that he uses might not be true, they might not make sense initially, but just think about them. Just, like as you're reading the book, if something's confusing, just be like, okay, what could this possibly mean? Use context clues, process of elimination, things like that. And you can really dig, like, when I started reading some of these terms, I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm like, oh, makes sense, okay. So if you get this book and you read it, just keep that in mind. Second thing, this frustrated the hell out of me when I first started reading this book. So I'm the kind of guy, regardless of the book I'm reading, okay, here's a point, I read that, I understand it, what's next? There's a point, I understand that, what's next? And that's how I like to read my books. Obviously I like details and all that stuff, but I don't like, when I'm reading, I don't like to just have the same thing pounded in my head if it doesn't need to be. He did that with this book. He repeated himself so many times. But this is one of the exceptions. I'm sure I'll make plenty more in my life, but this is one of the exceptions where I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, Don Miguel Ruiz, I'm cool with that. Because the process of, we'll call them info reps, okay, scratch all of that. The importance of repetition, and especially when we're talking about books, information repetition is super severe. Like that's the only way you can get knowledge and keep knowledge and then portray that knowledge onto people, teach other people. That's how teachers teach, that's how students learn, that's how all these things and places and beings, all this stuff happens. So the process of repetition is so important, and he understands that clearly, because well, the good thing too is as he's repeating what he's saying, he's not doing it in the same way. Like he's not using the same verbiage. He's using different explanations, different examples. So again, if you read this book, have patience with the guy, okay? He's just trying to make your life better. I will say this, there's so many parts in this book that really had me like, that really had my brain like, whoa, dude. Like, how do you catch that? Like, obviously life experience creates wisdom, but like there's some things that are just like, that everyone can relate to, I think. And that's something that really impressed me. But another quick thing I wanted to get across. So these agreements, right? I have implemented them into my life, and I'm seeing results already. Like the way people look at me and hear me and understand me is way different than it was 4 or 5 months ago. Simply because I'm using these agreements, right? So being impeccable with your word. Where I work at, I work with a lot of different people. People that I work with daily, some people I only see once a month, some people I see once and I'll never see them again. The only way for me to communicate with them in a proper manner is to literally just say exactly what I need to happen, right? So if I need to move something from there to there, I gotta say, hey dude, I gotta move that from there to there. Instead of saying, hey man, there's a situation that's going on over there, and that thing that might have to be used, but there's a situation over there that I can't even do that, and then I gotta then my back hurts, and then can I do it? No, cut the fat off and just say, I gotta move that to there, and it's a necessity, I need to do it. Just straightforward, mean what you say what you mean. My mom, she beat that into my head when I was a kid, and maybe that's why I picked it up, because I remember doing it at a young age. Now, I was a little bit of a pushover, and I'm not even gonna get into that, but I did understand that if I just said what I meant, or if I said what I wanted to say, I meant what I said, things went over real smooth. And then finally, as I got older, maybe after high school, I started understanding that once I started working like the 9-to-5 deal, I started to understand that how important it is. Second thing, don't take anything personally. Okay, so the way I grew up kind of in the low to middle class. I wasn't super poor, we had a roof over our head, we were able to eat, but buying nice things wasn't a thing that my family really did. So I would go to school with, a bad haircut. Maybe I might smell, like maybe, my armpits, I have some crazy BO. Maybe my shoes would be all tore. Maybe I have some loose pants that have holes in them that smell, that are dirty. But people would make fun of me verbally and not really physically. I wasn't really bullied. It was just kind of like, I guess you could say verbally bullied. But the key to me not falling into this whole depression thing and this whole self-pity and pain kind of swampy thing is I never cared what people said about me. To this day, you like me or you don't. You like my pants or you don't. Like there's nothing that you could say to me that I'm gonna be like, oh my God. Because again, as he states, what others do and say is a projection of their own reality. So if someone has a lot of pain coming into that, that's why you see, cartoons, movies, maybe even some actual documentaries. Kids that bully are typically, their parents don't really care about them, which is, it's really, really sad, but maybe their dad beats them when they're at home or whatever, and that's their reality. So that's the only thing they know. So they portray that onto you. And this, like I said, I want to do a deep dive into these, but this could be like an array of things. Like the spectrum is so broad. So it really just depends on who you're dealing with. But anyways, don't take anything personally, right? Someone says something to you, just understand, okay, if it's true, okay, sure, I have a hole in my shoe, okay. There's no need to make fun of me. You're probably dealing with some crap. It's okay, I'll go fix my shoe. Like, be level-headed and just don't take anything personal. Like, I keep saying, just do not take anything personally. The third one, don't make assumptions. This is the one, don't make assumptions. I think for me in the past few months, not making assumptions has been the most rewarding, feel-good thing that I've been doing for myself, because anxiety is rampant in me and some of my family members, and we're always thinking a year into the future, 2 days into the future. We're always thinking about the past, things that we did or didn't do, regrets, like all this stuff. And what that does, not living like right now, okay, I'm living right now, my feet, I can feel the carpet in between my toes. I'm sweating a little bit. This ring light is hot. I can see the blinking light on the camera. I can feel my mouth getting dry. I'm living in the moment as best as I can right now. And by doing that, I'm limiting all anxiety, because I'm only dealing with, like in my brain, I'm only dealing with what's going on right here, right now. Just living in the now, right where you are. Understand, if you're watching this video, just be in this video. you can't be in here because this is not some weird sci-fi movie, but just understand what's going on. See the brightness on your screen. See the subscribe button. That was a plug. Unnecessary just came out. See the like button. That was intentional. See the comments. See everything that's going on. Just be in the now. Feel the computer desk. Feel your iPhone. Whatever you're looking at. Team iPhone, by the way. Just be in the now. And doing that mentally, again, not just physically, mentally, will keep you from making assumptions about the future or the past. Man, I feel like I'm preaching right now. It's getting hot up in here, boy. Last one, always do your best. It's very simple. This is the most simple one. When things aren't the way people want them or have experienced them in the past, there's some sort of weird, I don't know, there's some sort of weird energy that comes with it, right? So if you're, I'll use the term working out because it's something I do. If I go lift weights, if I have a session, right, and I'm feeling my body, my brain, my everything, my entire being is at 100%. I go and I perform at 100%. That's my best. I do my best because I feel good. But when you feel bad, it's hard to do your best. Even if your best is a fraction of 100%, even if your best that day is 50% of your normal 100, there's still a best. There's still the best you can do. That option is still attainable. It's just not the one that you know when you feel good. Under any circumstance, always do your best. And in doing your best, you're never gonna mentally cheat yourself, I guess you could say. You're never gonna be like, well, I could have done more, but I didn't. And then now you're dealing with pain. Now you're dealing with regret. Now you're making assumptions, right? Each one of these are kind of intertwined. They're kind of related to one another if you really think about it. But when you start self-judging, assumptions come, and then pain comes, and then you start taking things personally that you put on yourself, and then you start saying things maybe to yourself. Saying things isn't actually moving your mouth and words and voice and sounds coming out. Saying things is up here too, with no one listening. So all these things, right, if you're always doing your best, you will completely avoid all of that BS. All of that stuff is washed away when you're doing your best. When you can actually say, I did my best. And it's 100% facts, regardless of your situation, mentally, physically, whatever. If you can actually say, I did my best, that is such a major key in creating happiness, and creating personal freedom, and creating a stable mindset. And I think that's really what this book is about, is just creating a stable mindset, which is fantastic, right? Again, it's a real short read. It's a really good investment. Spending $12.95 or whatever the price of this is on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble, it's a very, very good investment. So that's it. That's all I got for this review. Again, I don't know how to review a book, but we're gonna learn, and I really just wanted to talk about this because, again, it's a fantastic tool to get into. So I would highly recommend it. If I'm gonna start giving book scores, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 in my personal development book. This will always be handy. Mastering these 4 agreements, like I said, has dropped my anxiety almost down to nothing. Not, again, the assumptions part, that's the one that really helped me out. So again, I'm tired of babbling. I got to count them out. Yeah, I'm out of here. But yes, look into this book. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment if you got any questions, if you want to talk about it. If you made it this far, say something cool like, Brandon, I like the pink hat, I like the pink shirt, it's a dope shirt, and I like the pink light. Say something like that. But until next time, I'm out.